The best right back in the Premier League? Well, let me explain. If in August 2023 you told Chelsea fans we'd go the whole season without Reece James, you'd have lost our minds. But if you told us that in August 2024, no one will be worried at all. And that's all because of how incredible Malo Gusto has been. At just 21, he's already locked up some of the best wingers in the league. Now, the big question, can Malo Gusto become the best right back in the Premier League? Right back is probably the most stacked position in the league, so the answer isn't straightforward. To figure it out, we need to go all the way back to 2015. Gusto's journey began at the 4th-tier French club Lyon. Just a year later, he joined the Lyon academy at 13 years old. Rising quickly, Gusto became a key player in Lyon's youth squad, which reached the quarterfinals of the UEFA Youth League. By the end of the 2019-20 season, he had earned his first professional contract. That summer, with key departures such as Kenny Tete and the appointment of Peter Bosz, a manager known for developing talents like Kai Havertz, Mathis de Ligt, and Frankie de Jong, Gusto had a real opportunity to break into Lyon's first team, competing alongside captain Leo Dubois for the right-back position. As the youngest defender to start a Ligue 1 game for Lyon since 2012, Malo Gusto made a name for himself, racking up 29 appearances and assisting 4 goals from right-back in the 2021-22 season. But his real break came the following season. With the departure of Lyon's captain Dubois to Galatasaray, Gusto stepped up as the starting right-back. His first major test, a clash with PSG on September 18, 2022, facing a front line of Neymar, Mbappe and Messi. Lyon conceded within just 5 minutes, with Messi finding the net early on. It looked like a long day for Lyon, but for the next 85 minutes, Malo Gusto held his ground, shutting down PSG's relentless attacks and counter-attacks. The football world took notice, with clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid and Manchester United reportedly interested. Yet, in the background, a certain Todd Boehly moved fast. On January 29, 2023, Chelsea announced Gusto's signing for £30 million. Though he'd spent the rest of the season at Lyon, his last months in France had their ups and downs, an own goal against Marseille and a brief injury spell, but that didn't dim the excitement. For Malo Gusto, it was time for a new era at Chelsea. When Malo Gusto joined Chelsea, it seemed he'd primarily be a backup to Reece James. One tweet summed it up well. It would appear that Malo Gusto, at an absolutely critical age for development as a modern fullback, has moved to Chelsea to sit on the bench. Whether or not he realized it at the time, and initially it looked true. Despite impressing in pre-season, especially with a solid display against Mitoma of Brighton, Gusto started the season on the bench, with Reece James wearing the captain's armband against Liverpool. But disaster struck in the 74th minute as James pulled up injured, triggering flashbacks for Chelsea fans, aging as Piliqueta trying to hold off Premier League wingers. Instead, Gusto came on. Although it was a short cameo, he showed maturity beyond his years, and in his next match at Stamford Bridge, he really made an impression, delivering 2 assists in a 3-0 win and becoming one of the game's standout players. However, that early form didn't last. A red card against Aston Villa disrupted his rhythm, and as Reece James recovered, Gusto saw limited minutes, with Axel Disasi occasionally preferred at right back. But as the season progressed, Gusto turned it around. By the end of 2023, he was making key contributions again, like the counter-attack he began against Crystal Palace, assisting Mudryk from the left wing in a crucial 2-0 win. As the new year began, Gusto really found his stride, emerging as one of Chelsea's top creators with 8 assists across all competitions. His defensive discipline also improved, allowing him to keep some of the league's best wingers quiet. While other fullbacks struggled against the likes of Jeremy Doku, Gusto marked him out of the game at the Etihad and repeated that defensive prowess against Martinelli, Gordon and Luis Diaz. This season, with Reece James initially out on a red card, Malo Gusto began the season as Chelsea's right back. But when James sustained an injury shortly after, Gusto stepped up, and he's been so impressive that James hasn't been missed at all. Gusto has become essential to Enzo Maresca's Chelsea side, adapting to new tactical demands and playing a critical role in the team's midfield.
One of the reasons why we bring the fullback inside is to to avoid transition and to defend better in the moment that we lose the ball.
Maresca has frequently tasked Gusto with inverting into midfield, adding both numbers and quality as he receives the ball between the lines, pushing him further upfield.
In the middle, we try to create this 1, 2, 3, and 4 players against 3. So we have an extra man in the middle, and this allow us to control better the game. Not only a reason why we bring inside the fullback defending better, but it's also to try to attack better.
Maresca explained, with Malo playing as a 10, we can create and cause problems for the opponents. Malo is helping us with this process. He's playing everywhere. Malo is doing well and he is going to continue that way. Aside from 2 games missed through injury, Gusto has started every league game for Chelsea this season. Even when Reece James returned to full fitness, Gusto continued to start. Against Liverpool, he filled in at left back, only to be reinstated at right back for the matches against Manchester United and Newcastle, with James shifting to the left. Then came the Arsenal game. Despite James being fully fit, Maresca opted for Cucurella at left back and kept Gusto on the right, with James only coming on as a substitute in the 82nd minute. This decision left many Chelsea fans wondering, is Malo Gusto now ahead of Reece James in the pecking order, or was it a tactical move? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, Gusto plays a key role in Maresca's vision for Chelsea. So, can Malo Gusto become the Premier League's best right back? It's tough to say. Right back has become a complex position in modern football. You've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who plays more like a midfielder, and Kyle Walker, who can outrun almost anyone. There are right backs who play like wingers, and others are pure no-nonsense defenders. Gusto falls somewhere in between. He's got electric pace, the technical skill to escape tight spaces, and clean tackling, arguably his most underrated trait. Add that to his commendable work rate. Gusto is everywhere on the field. In games where he's been used as a number 10, he's shown his commitment, often working extra hard to recover his position when Chelsea lose the ball. His biggest contribution, though, might simply be his availability. With Reece James frequently sidelined, Gusto is always ready to be called upon. In the 2022-23 season, when Chelsea relied heavily on wingbacks in a 3-4-1 setup, injuries to James and Chilwell left the team vulnerable, with Chelsea finishing in 12th position. Gusto's reliability has helped fill that gap. What sets Gusto apart is his mindset. When asked about joining Chelsea, knowing that Reece James was the star right back and captain, he said, "I'm not stupid or crazy. We are a big club. There must be good players in each position. The reason I chose Chelsea is because I have a plan." That kind of mentality is a clear sign of a player with ambition and vision, someone who's likely to make it to the top. And he's only 21, surrounded by other young talents in a squad that's the youngest in Europe. Despite his youth, Gusto is putting in serious performances, and with years ahead until he reaches his prime, the only way seems up for Malo Gusto.